Okay, y'all, it's kind of crazy out here. Hurricane Beryl came through as a tropical storm last night. I'm going out to feed. I didn't grab the camera, but I went back to get it because I want to show you guys really what all I find. I've already found a couple things that happened during the night. There was tornadoes, high winds, obviously, windy right now, and just flooding rains. If you know anything about farming, anytime there's like bad weather and you have an animal close to giving birth, that's when they're going to choose to do it. And so I've already discovered that happened. Looks like some of the metal blew off the barn, so gonna have to keep an eye out, look around. We're also supposed to load chickens out tonight. Thankfully it's not super hot, but we're having piglets born right now. If you got a weak stomach, don't look at these next few slides. Sorry I look like crazy. I did not fix up at all for you guys. Literally just grabbed the camera. But right, looks like they're doing good. Pigs have multiple placentas, so it's not like they deliver a placenta and you can tell when they're done. It's not like that. So they're just done when they're done, basically. We had a litter born last week as well. It was a small litter. Let me show you guys those. So those are pure old spots, and then the one I showed you first was a Berkshire, and she's bred to an old spot. So those will be Berkshire old spot crosses. Another Berkshire we're waiting on to have piglets any minute. She's bred to an old spot as well. So those will be crosses. Already have some of the old spots spoken for, and we're gonna raise the crosses as, you know, butcher pigs. But anyway, I'm gonna take you guys around and see what else we find. It really did get kind of crazy here during the night. So much rain, which is a blessing. The rain is always a blessing, especially this time of year. But it was a lot at once. Okay, she didn't have any more, so we're gonna leave her alone for a minute and go check the rest of the farm. Already checked a couple animals. Things are blown around for sure, but haven't seen anything major yet, so counting that as a blessing. All right, we got a casualty. This is a peach tree. We don't normally actually get peaches off of it. I'm not gonna make this more dramatic or anything and say like, these are peaches, we'll have peaches all year. No, it's not like that. So that's a peach tree over in our fence line. Normally the peaches, they're really small. There's a lot of peach trees like that around here. I don't know if they're like a wild peach or what, but they don't get very big. They usually get bugs in them. Bugs come and like sting them, and then they're not good inside. So anyway, it's another thing to clean up though. So the first stop back here is the pigs in the woods. We're gonna make sure they're fine. No trees on their fences, anything like that. Just being honest, what I'm really concerned about is the meat chickens. They're leaving today. They're getting picked up in a matter of hours, and I lost sleep over them last night. I woke up thinking, what if they're drowning? What if it's raining too heavy on them? But at that point, it was thundering, lightning, raining. There was no way I could come back here, and even if I did, there was nothing I could do. So just had to wait for the light of day, and we're gonna go see how it stands. All right, I cannot find the pigs. Okay, I found some. Are y'all awake? Is everybody awake in here? Well, they're alive, so there's that. We're gonna leave them resting. If you've been around here a bit, you know we have had our electric fence has been struck like 3 times, I think. And so that always makes us nervous now when it gets stormy, because here, I don't know, 4 or 5 months ago maybe, it struck a tree. We were missing 3 of our mama cows and just kept looking for them. And lightning had struck a tree and they were all 3 under it, and they were all about to deliver calves, and it killed them all. Anytime it storms, that kind of makes us nervous. I see a lot of the cows, but just because you see a lot of them doesn't mean they're all there. So I'm gonna go check them too. Heading to the chickens now, that's what I'm most worried about. So let's go over there and see. Okay, that's a super, super good sight. I had already about decided in my head, if that storm had killed all these, that I might be done with chickens forever and ever and ever, because chickens are just equal hardships and hard work and nasty work, especially meat chickens. Even if you're moving them around on pasture, which we are, don't let anyone fool you that it's this like super glorious thing, and when you go out to move your chickens, you're gonna hear music playing in the background and you're gonna feel this sense of peace, because that's not how it is for me anyway. They're hard work, they're dirty. It's just, it's not my most favorite job, and I don't want to complain. I know I am saying I don't want to, but I am. But I about didn't do any more ever a couple years ago, and then last year I wound up doing a batch, and then this year I decided I was going to do a batch. But I laid in the bed last night thinking, if this storm just killed them all, I may be done forever and ever and ever this time. So thankfully not. Thankfully they're most all here. If there's any dead in there, it's very few, because I can't even hardly see any. So I'm gonna go in there and take a look, get them watered. Once they're leaving for to be processed, you have to pull their feed 12 hours in advance, which they ran out last night. I knew they would by the amount I fed them, so I didn't have to come pull that. I am gonna hang the feeders up because I'm getting ready, so when Ben gets home we can move this onto drier, cleaner ground to load these out tonight. But they can have water all the way up until they go. So I'm gonna get them watered, get them fixed up. Okay, 4 dead. That's pretty good out of 350. I'm just being honest. People always criticize me when I say that. When I say I'm being honest, I don't mean that I'm not always honest, but I'm telling you something, I guess, that I don't have to tell you. I'm being transparent, I guess you would say. Don't raise American breast with Cornish cross. It's not a good recipe. We were too far into it when we realized, but the American breasts at first, they coexisted super nicely, but the American breasts are a lot like what I call real chickens. And I know that sounds crazy, but they act like real chickens. Cornish cross do not. So the Cornish cross, when you're raising them, they don't try necessarily to like breed and things like that, which you know can be rough on hens. Like if you get too many roosters, your hens will start looking bad. Well, the American breast started trying to breed the Cornish cross, and what that's resulted in is some bullying and some like cuts on the Cornish cross. And that's just happened. That it was so weird, because at the beginning, the first weeks of them being together, weeks and weeks, totally fine. In fact, they kind of stayed on separate ends of the pen. But And then it was like all of a sudden they just started mingling together, and it did not work out well. That is not something we will ever do again, is put them in the same pen and raise them together. Just didn't work. I mean, I wouldn't say 100% it won't work for you, but I would be willing to stake a pretty good claim that it won't. So all the cows are here, accounted for. I counted all the cows and all the calves, so that looks good. We got a couple of pens across the road that I'll probably go check at some point, just to make sure there's no trees on their fences or anything like that. But all looks good. I have not rode every square inch of this farm, but the places where the animals are, looks like we survived the storm pretty good. Let's go back to the house and let's see if she's had any more babies. All right, I think it's starting again. It's starting to rain and blow again. So I'm heading inside, get some things done. Thanks for hanging out with me. As you can see, we actually fared pretty well. We will be loading out chickens, rain or shine tonight. So think about us, pray for us. But you know what? I'm gonna look on the bright side. It could be 105 degrees. So I will take a little wet. It's gonna be nasty anyway. So hey, what's a little water too? We'll see you guys on the next one. Thanks for watching, and God bless.